Hello guys and welcome back to I Never Knew That. So today we're going to be talking about the history of the Rubik's Cube and why it was invented. So the Rubik's Cube was invented by Erno Rubik, who was born in 1944. His mother was a poet and his father was a glider manufacturer. So no doubt his father introduced him to inventing and building things from a very early age. Erno went on to become an architect, an inventor, and a professor of architecture, but he is best known for inventing the Rubik's Cube. So the Rubik's Cube, which was invented in 1974, is known as one of the best-selling puzzle toys of all time. In 2009, 350 million of them had been sold worldwide. So the Rubik's Cube was actually invented to be a teaching aid for Rubik's architecture class that he was teaching at the time. His students were about the same age as he was, and he wanted a new way to teach them, so he built a very early prototype of the cube. It consisted of wooden pieces with holes drilled in them, and it was connected together with rubber bands. He used it so his students could visualize how objects moved through space and how that affected the other objects in space. And this early version of this cube wasn't anything like the cube we have today, really. It didn't have colored faces, it didn't have smooth action, and all it was just different cubes that could rotate relative to each other. However, after Rubik realized the simplicity of the model and how easy it would be to build more robust, he found a company that was willing to manufacture it for him. And in 1974, this company produced the 3x3 Rubik's Cube. So the updated version of the cube had smoother action, it had colors on the individual faces, and was much more robust than the early one. So a standard Rubik's Cube has 3 pieces on each side, 9 pieces on each face, and even though you might think that it has 54 pieces all total, it actually only has 26, because one piece is composed of 3 individual little colors on it. So it appears like it's 3 different pieces when in reality it's only 1. And there's 26 individual pieces like that, and there's also a core that holds everything together. So as soon as the cube was released to the public, people immediately started messing around with it, and they get it scrambled, and then they realize, wait, this is actually a whole lot harder to solve than it is to scramble. And in fact, some professors even said, once you scramble the cube, it is impossible to resolve it again. Which, if you think about it, that does not make any sense at all. However, after a month of mathematical equations and really thinking logically about it, Erno Rubik finally solved his cube, and that started the revolutionary toy, the Rubik's Cube. The first speed cubing competition was held in 1982 in Budapest, and the winning time was 38 seconds, which by now the world record is actually 3.47 seconds, held by Yusheng Du. But one thing that led to that record now is that cubes are much more smooth to rotate than the early counterparts, which were cranky and they were harder to turn, and now they have what is called speed cubes. So a speed cube has much smoother action, it's a little bit lighter, the pieces are more rounded so the faces flip faster, has what's called corner cutting, so one face can be not straightly lined up and it will still spin like that. That's how corner cutting works. So that is what is a speed cube, and those have taken over a traditional, more squared off cube. So the cube itself is very impressive from a mathematical standpoint because it has 43 different permutations or possibilities of the faces. Yeah, I know, 43 isn't that impressive. So how about I give you the real number? A real Rubik's Cube has 43 quintillion different possibilities of all the colors on it. So to give you an idea of what 43 quintillion is, I'm going to make 10 moves on this cube, and in the editing I'm going to speed those 10 moves up so it's 1 second, okay? Here goes 1 second, and I'm going to do 10 moves in it. This is sped up. Alright, so I sped that up, but that was 10 moves in 1 second, okay? Now, if I did that for as long as I could, right? I'm doing 10 moves every single second, okay? It would take me 147 billion years to go through every single possible color permutation on the cube. doing 10 moves every second. That's going to be a pretty bad RSI at the end of those. So later on, the cube actually started waning a little in popularity around 1980, 1990. Now it's really catching back on, and it's very popular now. There's still competitions being held. The record keeps getting shaved off closer to breaking under 3 seconds. But that is the Rubik's Cube. It's a very, very impressive, not only puzzle toy, but just from the mathematical equation side of it, it's a very impressive toy. But cubes don't end with a 3x3, which has 3 sides here and 3 little things there. They go all the way up to massive cubes, but some other popular ones is the 4x4, the 5x5, and even some odd-shaped ones. And all these were inspired by the simple 3x3 Rubik's Cube that Erno Rubik invented in 1974. Alright, well the time has come at the end of the video for me to draw the topic for next week. So let's see what it is. Let's see what our next topic is. Alright, so next week. And for those of you who do not know, at the end of every video I draw a new topic out of our cup of 52 topics and I study it for 1 week. And this topic is the history and the design of 3D printing. Wow, that is a very interesting topic. This is last week, so we can get rid of it. I am really looking forward to that. So subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I will see you guys next week with a video on 3D printing. See you then.